Hey everybody, it's Mama. Welcome back to Mama's Odi Tarot. So today we are doing a deep dive into Jenna Ortega. Somebody requested me to do this, so I figured why not see what's going on, how she rose to fame, how she became Jenna Ortega, her true personality versus her inner personality, all of that good stuff. I mean, she's young, she's only 22, so I feel like she has a lot of time to, grow and evolve when it comes to her career. So we'll just look into as far as the future predictions, I only looked into like the next 6 months because there's a lot to unfold in terms of her career and her trajectory. I know that her career started when she was probably like 12 years old. So she's been in the industry for a while now. So let's just jump right in and not waste any more time. All right. So let's see about her personality, her public persona first. Hathor, soul family, hell, end of a cycle, Hecate, past life healing, and Kuan Yin, kindness and nurturing. So her public persona is very kind, very nurturing, a very calm, sweet personality. She definitely shows that she values family, friendships, the people that surround her, who support her, and her fans. She seems like someone who cares a lot about her community and her supporters and her family and things like that. We do have past life healing, which would suggest that sometimes she could be a little bit nostalgic. I don't know if she has any cancer placements or anything, or possibly. Well, I mean, she is a Libra, so that could count for it too. But I was gonna say air sign placements or any fixed sign. But anyways, the point is, I feel like sometimes she will get caught up in the past, revisiting. She has a hard time moving on from things, so that's kind of where that comes from. But also, I think in terms of her public persona, it gives off old soul kind of vibes, where it's like, yeah, she's a young girl, but she kind of has an old soul, and you can recognize that she's been here before. Like she's. She may be new to this, but she's possibly true to this and has done this before. And then lastly, we have hell, end of a cycle. So this one is kind of interesting because it tells me that, she has a little bit of an edginess to her personality, to her look. She kind of goes with that darker, macabre imagery. She might even be into certain dark feminine occult practices and Lilith's energy. She might carry a lot of that energy and be really into her dark feminine nature and her dark feminine side. All right. So that is what I get as far as her public persona. Let's see about her true inner personality. Well, we got hard tell the truth on the top. So they saying, yeah, pretty much her public persona is very accurate to how she is on the inside. So she is very aware of her true personality, and she's not afraid to stand in that, wear it, whatever the way how she likes to dress, the way she likes to talk, behave, everything when it comes to her standing in her true power and standing in her truth. She does that, and she's not going to allow anybody to make her back down. She's a very strong personality. She has a lot of, inner strength where she is not afraid to back down. She's going to stand up for what's right and what she believes in. She's really going to stand her ground. And do what makes her happy. You're not just going to be able to, come at her and just get her to do whatever you want her to do. She's very, very strong-willed, very fierce, very powerful when it comes to knowing her own inner strength and loving herself. And she has a lot of self-confidence. We also which makes sense because we also have You Are a Healer, Bridget. So very much into healing, loves to help other people. She has she's an empath. She cares a lot about other people. She can feel their energy and their vibrations. She could take on a lot of different people's, sensitivities and the energy that's surrounding her. So she's definitely a healer. And then lastly, we have sacred medicine, Asclepio. So she cares a lot about holistic medicine, healing, protection, meditation, crystals. She's into all of those type of occult spiritual things. She believes in, alternative forms of healing and alternative forms of medicine, and not necessarily just always going to the doctor, but she really believes in going down a spiritual path, taking care of your spiritual hygiene, making sure that you honor your vessel, your body, and your God, your ancestors. She's into all of these type of things, very much so. And she, at her core, chooses to protect those that might have been taken advantage of. She's all about healing, growth, evolution, protecting holding people accountable. That's what I want to say when I say protecting. Like, not just literally making sure that people don't get taken advantage of, but holding people accountable for the decisions that they make. She believes in kind-heartedness and compassion and being good-natured. So she would definitely not be afraid to hold a man accountable or hold anybody accountable for their bad behavior. So that's dope. Let's see, about her career. Like I said, she started at 12. So I asked, like, did she really want this? Was this always like a childhood dream of hers? Like, how did she really feel coming into having an acting career? Interesting. So we have the 4 cups and the 10 of wands. So it was one of those situations where she felt like she was carrying burdens, but because of all the, I guess, support and the family and the friends and the people that was around her, pretty much motivating her and telling her, like, that everything was going to work out. This is so, this is such a great idea. This is going to be for the best of you. I feel like she kind of just carried the burdens, and she just made it seem like she wasn't going through a lot. Like, she carried the burdens really well. You see how this woman is carrying these rocks, and even though she might be overwhelmed, she's still getting the job done. So it was one of those things where she tried not to complain with this 4 cups. She tried not to be a bother. She tried not to be annoying and say, well, I don't really like this, I don't really like that. She tried to just be cool, copacetic, do her job, do what she's told, like, and not really be like a bratty kind of person with, when it comes to working. Like, she just really wanted to make sure that she was easygoing and she was easy to work with, and she didn't cause any drama or stress for herself. We also have the 5 of wands and 7 of cups. So yeah, it's like she was, I don't know, it feels like her parents or whoever it was, her family that got her into this, she's always having to listen to them, like, do what they say. And so it says a good coven lets every witch have a say. So this is telling me that she didn't really have a say, in what path she wanted to go down and the choices that she made in her being an actress. This was really guided by, her family and them telling her that this would be a good idea. It was going to work out. You was going to be this golden child. She was so perfect. And it's not like it wasn't a good idea. Of course, she enjoyed it with the 7 of Pentacles, and it was fun. And she got, to make all this money and have all these great experiences and live her life. But I feel like there's a part of her that felt like, where was the nurturing and the kindness that came for her? Nobody cared about her own self-care and how she was feeling and what was going on with her. It was more about her just doing her job and bringing in the bacon and doing what they say. And even if she felt like, she didn't want to do something or she didn't want to take that route with the 7 of cups, it's like she pretty much had to do it. And so it says all the signs say that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. So it was one of those things where, because everything was going good, she had all the money, it was like everyone's like, no, you're happy, you're good, nothing's wrong. Like, she didn't really feel like she had a reason to bring up the fact that she didn't enjoy this, because everyone's telling her that everything is so perfect with this plant shop. Like, you're at peace, you're calm, you're happy. Like, they were trying to pretty much convince her that it was better than what than what it was. And so part of her started to believe that. And she was like, maybe I just need to wait. Maybe I just need to persevere, like, with this plant shop, and things will change. Things will get better. I felt like at some point she was selling herself a dream as much as the people around her, the family, the friends, the people she was working with as far as her career, as much as they were selling her a dream too. Telling her that at some point she wasn't going to have to constantly work. She was going to get her peace. She was going to get to go on a vacation, enjoy herself. Like, and it's like, even though she was doing those certain things, I feel like she always wanted a new chapter. She always wanted to just be at peace with this Queen of Cups. Do what made her happy. Like, it says honoring your emotions is one of the highest forms of self-care. So she was avoiding doing that self-care, and she never really got to do what made her happy. And all the while she was having this career, acting and going on all these auditions and doing things, in the background, she was just feeling unhappy, and she was feeling like she wanted to be elsewhere. She wanted to go off somewhere and be by herself. Spend time, just sitting on the beach, drinking some tea, just really relaxing and being at one and at peace with herself. So, yes, that's how I feel about her, how she got her career and everything. And I don't think I don't think this was ultimately a dream of hers. It was just one of those things where it was like, I thought that it was just going to be something fun and exciting, and I would eventually evolve and grow. I didn't think that this was going to be like super hard work and grinding, and now I'm like basically an adult when I'm really still a child. Like, she felt like she was emotionally stunted, and her growth happened before she wanted it to. Like, there was a lot that she missed out on in terms of having a childhood, being a teenager, having alone time, not being in the spotlight, not having people always knowing what's going on with your life. Like, it was just a lot. And she felt like she didn't have a normal teenage years and childhood. Okay, I next asked, what was the driving force behind, her actually blowing up and becoming big as Jenna Ortega? Pretty much her overworking. Literally. Like, it was like she was constantly on the move. She was constantly working. Working with the Six of Pentacles and the Strength in reverse. She was weak. She was working to the point of exhaustion, where she really didn't have no time for herself. And I think she was really angry about this. I'm not going to lie. Like, this was making her feel bitter. This was making her sad. This was making her unhappy. Because she was constantly having to... It says every blessing you give will eventually be returned to you. So it's like, yeah, they kept telling her that everything was going to work out in the long run, that this was all going to pay off. Just keep putting in this hard work. But it feels like she was taking care of the people around her family members. That's all it was. She was really... With this Four of Wands... They got a nice house. They got all the upgrades. It was like they was getting things off of her back. Her whole family was upgraded off of her. She was the magician. She was the one that helped turn around things in her family's life and helped them end up in a better situation. Of course, they was bragging on her, always talking about her like she was the talk of the family, the talk of the always the topic of conversation. And I feel like she didn't feel safe and she didn't feel comfortable with them because they were not protecting her. They didn't care. They was just always having her work and do whatever it is. Like, and with this magician, it's like the ancestors are saying they basically left her to be siphoned off of creatively. They left her out in they didn't protect her. It's like you see how this woman's heart is on her sleeve? That's what was going on here. It says plant parent. But yeah, it was like her parents, plant parent, exactly. So her parents were just like, they saw her as the golden child with this magician. She was going to bring them all of their wish fulfillment, their success, their happiness, everything that they wanted. And I don't think that she felt comfortable with them. And they were the driving force, behind her overworking herself to get this. They always had her in the spotlight, always, presenting her with new opportunities. Let's go to this audition. Let's go to that audition. They didn't care if she even liked the role, is what they just told, what I just heard. Somebody just said they didn't even care if she liked the role. They didn't even care. Couldn't even be a role that she wasn't comfortable with and didn't want to do. But it was just like, you got to go to this audition. And you got to be, you got to show passion and act like you're really excited to do all this even when you don't want to. And it's like, of course, she was also still dealing with those, so she started dealing with self-doubt, basically, is what happened. Where she started dimming her own light because it was like, man, I didn't get this role. I didn't get that. And so it's like she started losing faith. That's what I want to say. After a certain point, with this Nine of Cups and Nine of Pentacles, it says romanticize the present moment every chance you get. So she never felt grounded. She never felt rooted. She never felt that peace comfortable in her body. She never felt like she had a chance to even sit down and relax, be in a hammock, enjoy the fruits of her labor. Like I said, take a vacation. It says pause and savor the results of your success. She never got to do that. She never got to really enjoy her present moment and romanticize it. She was always on the go and working. So pretty much exactly what I said. Let's continue. What were some of her early acting struggles as far as her career? Okay, I started off with the acting struggles, and then I did, of course, her personal struggles. We have partnership and love, community, despair, and shame in reverse. Excuse me. Oh my God, that was a heavy one. Confirmation. I'm not going to beat a dead horse here, because this is basically everything that I said. Her family, right, with this community, spiritual ancestors, like it was literally her actual family, making them happy, doing what they say, like how everything pretty much improved for them. And it's like there was a part of her that would have felt guilty with this shame coming out of reverse and felt guilt for wanting to go on her own path, wanting to live her own life, not really wanting to do this. And so she chose to just allow herself to constantly go through moments of despair, go to all these different auditions, go to these, like she was allowing herself to be always working. She was always outside, never having time for her own self. She was going through a lot of sadness and sorrow. And with this partnerships and love, like it's like she didn't have a lot of people who could relate to her. She didn't get to, have a lot of friends that she can hang with, spend time with, like just do regular kid, teenage things. Goofball off. It was like she always had to be perfect, always had to be on her best behavior. She was holding herself to a crazy standard, and she was carrying the weight of her entire family on her shoulders and what it is that they wanted her to do. So she was unhappy. She was going through, moments of depression and things like that. She was dealing with moments of feeling, not confident in herself. Feeling like a bad person, feeling like, she was wrong for wanting to choose her own self. Constantly, in between a rock and a hard place here. Because of wanting to support her family and seeing how, the community loved the community support her. Like she saw how she was being received, and it's like on the surface, she had no reason to be unhappy, but she was overworked and overwhelmed. If you knew what was going on behind closed doors, then you would understand this was too much for her. This is not what she truly wanted. So let's see about her personal struggles early on. Sacred space, of course, throat chakra, can't make it up. Solar plexus chakra and water elemental. So her solar plexus chakra and her throat chakra were not being, they weren't even overactive in this case. They weren't being used at all. She wasn't really speaking up, right? She wasn't speaking her truth and saying what it is that she truly wanted. She was just keeping quiet and acting like everything was okay. Okay. Oh, Lord. Quack, quack. I'm thinking, yeah, like she was chicken. She was like a scared little duck. She didn't want to speak up and say what it is that was bothering her. I'm literally getting tongue-tied as I'm talking, you guys. She was literally tongue-tied. And then we have solar plexus chakra. So she was always doing what it is that she was told. She never was taking action. It says, I take action daily that awakens my personal power. So she was never standing true on her personal power early on in her career. She was doing what she was told because she was a child. She had no choice. She was going through a lot of emotions. I feel like she was crying behind closed doors. She was sad. She was going through a lot and she was pretending like she wasn't. But her mind, body, and spirit wasn't flowing. She wasn't in harmony. She wasn't balanced and at peace. She did not feel comfortable in her body. And now with this water elemental, I was thinking the same thing when I looked at this Queen of Cups card, that Sea Witch card. I feel like she has siren energy. I feel like she's a siren. And she has that energy, and it's like people will, put you in the spotlight and see you, and they want to use you, and it's like, no, she don't want to always be perceived. She don't always want to be looked at. She don't always want to be liked for her, that energy that she carries, because we know that siren energy is something, that is unexplicable. It's not, you can't really explain it or talk about what it is. It's just an energy, an aura that she carries with her. And she feels like she's always having to deal with, other people's sensitivities, hearing other people's thoughts, feeling their emotions, like it was too much for her. And then we also have the sacred space. So never getting time for herself, literally, no alone time. We talked about this. I find peace, security, and contentment when surrounded by nature's beauty. Never had the time to get out of nature, be alone. Go, plant herself with some grass. Like I said, go by a beach somewhere. And really, didn't I say something about going by a beach and then it even came out here? I didn't even realize. On this Knight of Cups. Enjoying the moment. She never really got to have that. All right, let's see. What is she, what's going on currently with her career? What is she actually working on and focus on right now currently? Okay. I didn't realize so many of these came out. Look, the Water Guardian came out. Water Elemental. Listen, triple confirmation. She is a whole siren out here. Okay? She is a whole siren out here. But what she's really focusing on right now, as far as what I can see, is starting to plant some new seeds. She's trying to find a middle ground, a middle path when it comes to her career. Like, things are starting to lighten up as far as the load that she's carrying. The burdens is lessening with this sun coming out, where she's actually starting to do what makes her happy, with this Earth Mother. Being honest, I feel like there was something going on here with her mother. There was something there with their relationship where she felt like, she was being overworked by her, obviously, but it was something emotional as well, where she felt like she couldn't speak up to her mother. She couldn't be honest with her. But now she's in a better place where, they kind of have a little bit more understanding with this peacekeeper. Like, they have a more harmonious relationship. But as far as, her speaking up, she's not trying to hide nothing. She's being honest with this wise one and Water Guardian. She's been connecting with her emotions and being truthful and being honest with her mom and saying, hey, this is what I don't like about how you raised me, what you've done, how you treated me. Like, I don't like the way that you used me as like a money grab. Like, all of these different ways that she feels that her family and the people in her life, especially her mother, has taken advantage of her. She's been being honest about it. She's been talking about it. She's been speaking about it. And it's allowing her to have a more, relaxed and peaceful life because she's doing what she wants as opposed to what her mother and her family is telling her to do. She don't care about being graceful with the Shaolin master coming out in reverse. She don't care if it sound mean, if it look mean, if people think that she's, just being aggressive or being angry. She's doing what makes her happy. She's standing tall. She's standing firm. She's not being afraid to back down and speak up and connect with her intuition, right? And connect with her emotions and do truly what makes her happy. And now she's starting to see growth. She's starting to see evolution when it comes to her life and when it comes to her spiritual path, her journey, her emotions. Everything is starting to get balanced in her life. In terms of the Spring card coming out here, she's starting to see that that was the right decision to make, and that she has to stand strong with this warrior in Winter. She has to take care of her own needs and prioritize herself. That this was all it took Was her being real and being honest to get her to a better place. Even if her mom, wants to keep a distance from her, whatever, she's still going to stand firm in her truth and making this decision. She's not going to let anybody, stop her or stir her emotions up or make her feel like it was the wrong decision. She's going to be really fearless and do what makes her happy ultimately and take care of herself. Even if it looks stubborn, even if it looks aggressive, she got to do what makes her happy. So that's what she's focusing on right now. Being smart when it comes to what role she's taking on. I think just slowing down, Like, I don't think that she's too pressed to, like, have a million roles and be overworking. Like, she really wants a more peaceful, relaxing lifestyle where she can choose whatever she want to do, right? She's more so just enjoying the fruits of her labor because, you would think after all of the work that she did since she was a kid, like, she got enough money now. She's comfortable. She can just kind of relax and do what makes her happy. I asked, how does she feel about her acting career currently now? How does she feel about her acting career? Okay, so we have the Page of Wands with the Eight of Pentacles. It's one of those things where she's like, I'm kind of putting that on the back burner right now. Because she understands that this takes way too much work and it's exhausting her, right? And it's like she's already done put in the work, which is Eight of Pentacles. She's like, I already done put in enough work, establish myself. Like, if I want to just do one role, maybe two, like, I can kind of chill out and decide what I want to do. I don't got to overwork or overstress myself. I don't got to, do something just because I love it. Or, I don't have to do something just because I want to. I can do it because I love it and because I'm passionate about it now. Like, I don't have to take on a role because I just need money or I'm trying to take care of my family or help anybody else. Right? And it says, sorry, but fairies aren't going to come do all the work for you. So she's like, bro, I ain't doing all the work no more for my family. They got to go figure it out for themselves now. It's at the point where now she got to, give herself her own flowers. Take care of herself, prioritize her and do what makes her happy. So she's chilling with just, a few roles. With this World and the Eight of Swords, it's like, bro, it's one of those things where she's more so taking leaps of faith on what makes her happy. Exploring different kind of roles. Exploring, different mediums. Maybe not even doing acting. Maybe doing something totally different with this World and the Eight of Swords. Because she understands that she can free her. She can do whatever she wants now. She can do whatever she wants, literally. If she don't even want to do acting no more and she want to completely do something different, she has the freedom to do that. The world is her oyster. It's open to her. It says, yeah, you did it. Now do something to celebrate a job well done. She's already done all the, I can't make it up. She's already done it. Like, now she can just do whatever she want to do. She's free with this Eight of Swords. She's not trapped and held back by anybody with this Broom and Two of Cups. She could find out what really gets her going. This card says, some people are like the pumpkin to your spice. She can figure out what really gets her going. What's really the pumpkin to her spice? It goes back to her being at rest and at peace. And with this Broom here, it says tidy up your life so you can make space for something better. She's making room for something new. She's decluttering and opening herself up to a new phase. So she feel like, hey, like, as far as my acting career, I've already established myself, created everything I needed to create. I got my accolades. Now I pretty much can relax and do whatever. So please. Whatever makes my heart flutter is what I'll do. Okay? So that's that. Okay? Let's go ahead next to her current, struggles, if any. Do she have any current, acting career struggles and then personal struggles? Psychic awareness, creativity, truth, and discontent. No. All right, she's in full creative control right now. They're saying that she's standing in her light. She's standing in her truth and her honesty and her power. She's aware of what makes her happy. And so now she's going after, what she want to do. If that's making music, like I said, she might not even want to do acting at all. Painting, with this paintbrush here, doing something artistic, creatively. But either way, with these butterflies, she's opening herself up to a new change. She's, she's evolving and she's growing. And she's not afraid. She's doing truly what makes her happy. But this discontent, she's tired of being in situations that don't fully make her feel alive. If she don't feel passionate about it, if it doesn't get her going, then she's not putting any effort into it. She's just not. It's got to get her creative juices flowing. It's got to really make her feel something on a spiritual level with this psychic awareness in order for her to even do it or spend time on it. So it's not about making dollars. If it don't make her happy, then it don't make sense. Forget the money. This is all about her going after her creative pursuits, and she don't care about making a dollar off of it. She just care about standing in her truth and in her power and doing what her, being real and letting people know, like, this is who I am and this is what makes me happy. Because like I said, she's a very strong-willed person on the inside. She has a lot of inner strength, and now it's time for her to stand in that with this Ipana Earth magic. It's really time for her to stand in her power of who she is, like, and really go after her soul contract with the sacred contracts and what what her divine mission is, what she was sent here to do. Even if it makes other people uncomfortable. This is going back to the crystals again now. It's a lot about her. She likes crystals, using crystals, crystal magic. Like it's something there to her with her and that Lumerian. She might have some Lumerian guides or But like I said, she just involves herself with certain occult and spiritual practices. And she really wants to, I think, dive more into her healing energy, possibly even Reiki. With this earth magic, doing Reiki, like, I feel like she really wants to more so get into her creative bag and her spiritual bag and do what God sent her here to do. Not what, her family wants her to do. She's ready to stand in her truth and step into her authenticity, and stop dimming her light. Personal struggles. A nurturing heart. Mother, there it goes again. There it goes again. Because we first had Earth Mother feel loved and comforted. That's the struggle, that she never felt loved and comforted by her mother. Excuse me. Confirmation. And it's like they're at odds. She spoke her truth to her. She's been honest with her. And it's like her mother is saying that she knows best with this wise one. Like, she's still like, oh, I made the right decision. I made the right choices. Like, I did what was right. And this is a struggle for her now, that she don't feel like she got that nurturing energy and that protection that she was looking for from her mother. Her mother was not there to protect her. And because of that, she felt like she got to in order to feel safe and comfortable in her body with this root chakra, she got to stay away from her. She's got to separate herself from her. She's trying to focus on the present now because she was never able to do that. Didn't I say, hey, look, the present is coming out now. I fully experienced every moment of my life by living in the present. So that's what she's doing. She's awakening her spirit with Spirit Awakenings here. And she's embracing a new change. And this is coming as a shock to her family, to her mother, to certain people. And it's like she might be separating herself from her mother, not being as close to her. Because at the end of the day, she feel like she was in survival mode dealing with her mother. And she don't want to be in that anymore. Hold on. Sorry, you guys, I had to pause for a second. But what I was basically saying is that the relationship with her mother is sour at this point because she feels like she was always in survival mode, having to work, and never really getting to focus on her physical body and taking care of herself. And now that she's living in the present and she's awoken her spirit and she's embracing this new change of living a more easy, confident life and doing what makes her happy, it's causing issues between her mother, and she has chosen to separate, and do what makes her happy, even if it makes, them feel some type of way and they don't want to walk through that door with her. If they're not willing to grow and change and evolve too, then they just can't be in the present with her. They just can't be in her life. So that's the current personal struggles. I next asked about, her ultimate trajectory, where she's going in terms of her acting career. So basically, she's going into hiding. I'm sorry that I keep having to pause the video, but basically, it seems like she's going to be going into hiding with this Amaterasu No More Hiding coming out in reverse. With this Mabu Lisa coming out in reverse, being balanced. It's like, it's giving night and day. She's going to be switching it up, doing something totally different, possibly not even doing acting, just really choosing to do what makes her happy with this Athena wise decision. Like, she's standing her ground, choosing to go after her creative passions and light her own fire, even if this means putting certain relationships, partnerships, whatever, in the past. So that's her future trajectory. It's just doing what makes her happy, like I said. Let's see. I asked about love, right? Is that what I asked about next? Yeah, what is she looking for in terms of a love partner? Yeah, she's another one that's looking for something divinely guided, just like G-Dragon is. She's looking for something with an ancestor supported, with the elder coming out here healing through the lineage, and she really wants something that she knows God sent her with the Sky Father and medicine guardian. She wants somebody who's also doing the healing work, who's on their spiritual journey, who's on their path, who's in tune with, their spiritual nature, getting downloads, like somebody who's not going to act weird when she brings up about spirituality and, crystals and all these different things that she's into when it comes to occult practices and being on her journey. She wants to feel comfortable to bring that up to this person and know that she's not alone, that they're all, they're on the journey and, they're always going to be there for her. She wants somebody who pretty much is like a safe space, a true friend. And with this air guardian, I think she wants someone who might shift her perspective. Literally, it's a shift her perception. So somebody who might make her believe in love, because it, what this is suggesting is that she kind of feel like that might be a little bit far-fetched, like really finding somebody that's on the same level as her spiritually, and that's like her divine counterpart, that's like a past life soulmate that's really been sent to her by God, that is dreaming about, like she dreamt of this person. Like it feels like she's already dreaming of a certain person. And with this trust in the unknown, she's just hoping that she really come into contact and meet this person, and that this person is really for her, because she's already seeing certain symbols and signs and synchronicities from the universe about them. So she's just hoping that she really do get to meet this person and grow old with them and have a family, have children, grandchildren. Like she really wants to see her family grow and heal. And, she wants to see the generations continue. And she promotes all of that healing throughout her lineage and teach her children about crystals and herbs and roots and medicine and all of that stuff. Like, yeah, that's what she wants to do. So that's why she wants somebody who's also a healer, who's on that same level of spirituality and intuition, and want to be the same type of person that wants to be a healer just like her and is on that path. So that's what she's looking for in terms of love. I next asked about, her love blockages and is she dating? So this was her love blockages, excuse me, and then this is she dating? Yeah, fire elemental, reach for your dreams, and moon goddess in reverse. Yeah, like I told you, it's somebody that she's dreaming about, because we have the moon coming out twice, double moon. Like, she already has an intuition. She's getting messages, she's seeing synchronicities about this person already, but she don't believe in them. With this fire elemental and reach for your dreams, she feel like that's just literally in her dreams, and that she's bugging, and that is far-fetched, and that is never actually going to happen. But it's also telling me that, with this fire elemental, she's not too into the whole, like, partying, hanging out, sleeping. Like, she'd rather just stay celibate if it's not this person who she's dreaming of. That's what it feels like. Like, it's like, like, okay, I'll hook up. I have to, like, open myself up and be open to love, and so I'll have to do it. But it's like she would rather not do it if it's not this person, is what this is giving me. She really feels connected on divine nature to this person. Like, that's the person who's really going to ignite her passions and her fire. And so, they're saying that her main love blockage is not believing that this person is going to be hers, because they absolutely are. They absolutely are. She just got to start believing in it with this moon goddess coming out of reverse, and stop focusing on the past. Remember I told you about the past life healing with Hecate? So she is somebody who, clings. She gets stuck in the past and past pain and past heartaches or whatever situations. They tell her to, let go of the past and move forward so that she can open herself up to this new person, because there is somebody out there that's for her, that they divinely guided her to. And then I asked, is she dating? Death, new beginnings, and decisions. Did she recently get out of a relationship? She recently make a decision, choose to go on her own path, go her own way, and terminate a relationship and end it. And she's kind of like starting over by herself on a new path. That's what this is pretty much giving me. I don't know if she's publicly been in any relationships that we know of, or dating, or have a boyfriend or anything, but this is looking like with the death card here and the new beginnings and decisions, she have to make a tough decision, to leave somebody in the past. And that could be, that could be while she's having, the past as a current love blockage, because she might be struggling, wondering, was that the right decision to make? Was it a good idea to choose herself and leave this person behind and not move forward with them? But ancestors are saying that she needs to keep moving forward with this new beginning, because there's somebody else out there that they're going to be sending for her to be with. So she made the right decision, is what they're saying, and that she just got to stand in it. Like, she got to trust in her higher self and know that she's being protected by her guardian angels, and that they let her know, that, and possibly, a certain father figure of hers, God, whoever, let her know that it was time for her to open herself up to this new beginning. But they don't want her getting into this energy of chaos or stress where she might want to run back, open back up an old door. They're telling her that she needs to keep moving forward. Like, Jenna don't need to go back to nothing from her past, and she's kind of thinking about it right now. She's wondering, did she make the right decision with cleaning up, certain things from her life? And they're saying that she definitely made the right decision with all the things that she's cleaned up from her past, and that, she got something new that's coming that really matches her spark. All right, so I asked about some future predictions for her, so let's get those. We got 5 different ones. I just pulled one card from all of the decks, future predictions over the next 6 months. So we have the 6 of Cups. So they telling her that she needs, over the next 6 months, we might see her going on some sort of vacation. We might, the paparazzi might snap her somewhere, in Paris or something like that, like, or Italy, like. But it's really more about her giving herself her flowers. Like, it's really more about her continuing to rest over the next 6 months, continuing to do what makes her happy, what makes her feel good. And yeah, like I said, I just keep saying she needs to give herself her flowers. And look, this person is buying herself flowers. That's what she needs to do. So they're saying that over the next 6 months with this Six of Cups, she's going to be making some fun memories, some happy memories. Like she'll be actually spending time vacationing, spending time with friends, family, doing just really what makes her happy. I can't make it up. What they say? Crystal Ascension. So it says, I am attuned to the universal wisdom and energy of the crystal kingdom. So over the next 6 months, she's going to be undergoing a spiritual transformation. Okay. Giving very much Kalima energy, where she's going to be getting some upgrades in terms of her gifts. And she's going to be highly sensitive and intuitive over the next, after this, next 6 months, because she's definitely going through an ascension when it comes to her intuition and her spiritual gifts and her psychic abilities. So that's dope. We also have Seer, see beyond your current situation. So she's gonna be, I can't make it up. Like it's really giving I'm a genie in a bottle. Like she's gonna be doing something different. That's what this is telling me with this Seer. Like we gotta look forward to her switching things up, really, really doing what makes her happy. So when they say see beyond the current situation, they're like, don't just pigeonhole her to just being a one type of actress or just an actress in general, because she's, over this next 6 months, she's going to be shocking us by showing us a different side of her, something completely different. So we got to be open to whatever this new avenue she's going to be going down, this new route that she's going to be taking, because it's going to be something totally different. And they're saying that, she's going to be taking on some type of leadership role, basically, with the see beyond the current situation. Like, she's going to be overseeing something, and she's going to be the leader. She's going to be leader. So she's possibly writing a movie, possibly, writing a script, going to be doing something where she directed the movie, or she's the lead actress again. But she actually wrote it. Like, she also could be with this leadership evolving and growing, with this ladder going up to something totally different. It don't have to necessarily just be behind the camera into like writing or scripting. She could be moving over to like plays, dramas. I don't know why I keep wanting to think of like her singing or something. Like she has other hidden talents that we don't know about, that she's going to be bringing to the forefront. Yeah, she's going to be letting us know about her hidden talents. So we might see her in like a Broadway musical or a play, something, a live action film, something of that sort. We have Face Your Shadow coming out of reverse. Like she's not going to be, she's going to be doing something totally different, unpredictable. We're going to be seeing a new side of her. Much brighter, much lighter. She might not even be wearing, being in such a that. Like, remember I told you her imagery as far as her personality, her outer persona is more macabre, which is hell, end of a cycle. But they're saying that listen, that might be coming to an end with this end of a cycle, and she may be stepping into something where she's more on the lighter side and not so much on her shadow side, wearing brighter colors. She might even switch up her hair color, go blonde, go, or colorful, go more brighter, but just changing up her image to something that feels lighter and more comfortable to her, that she actually wants to do. So ancestors is basically saying we need to be open to that, right? Like embrace her in this new change, in this new era that she's going into, because she's going to be doing truly what makes her happy. And like, we don't need to be judging her and saying like, oh, but didn't she always used to look like this or just like this? Or didn't she always used to do like sad acting roles or sad movies? Like, why is she switching it up? Embrace it. She's doing something different. She's trying something new. And we should really, really support her when she does this, because it looks like it's going to be really, really beautiful and amazing. So I'm excited and looking forward to seeing what she has for us. So that's what I have as far as this reading for Jenna Ortega, her rise to fame, her career from the beginning till now, and her future trajectory. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Of course, like I said, when we get to 500 subscribers, I will be doing a giveaway. So make sure to, share this with somebody who might want to see it, and subscribe to the channel as well, so that y'all can be a part of the giveaway when I drop it. All right. So love you guys. See you later.